Hey everyone, Joshua Kirk back with you once again, and now it's time for my second year-end roundup for 2024. As you can see from the title, this is of course my top 50 albums of 2024. Very excited to do this list. Been a really solid year for music overall. I'm going to go through the bottom half quickly, and then I will have a little more to say as we get further into the top half of my list. So let's just get right to it. Number 50, Claire Rousay, Sentiment. 49, the wonderful debut from Louisa Stancioff, When We Were Looking. 48, Floating Points with Cascade. 47, a kind of wild and disorienting collab from Def's Dynamic Shroud and Galen Tipton, You Like Music. 46, Vince Staples with Dark Times. 45, one of the biggest pop albums of the year, Billie Eilish, Hit Me Hard and Soft. 44, Nilufer Yanya's My Method Actor. 43, Adrianne Lenker with another beautiful record, Bright Future. 42, Uboa's Impossible Light, one of the most harrowing records to land on this list. 41, Parannoul with Sky 100, and then rounding out the 40s, shout out to Channel BK for this one, Cory Wells, Harboring the Hurt I've Caused. 39, it is the beautiful and lush new record from Cassandra Jenkins, My Light, My Destroyer. 38, Kim Gordon reinvents herself on all fronts with The Collective. 37, the sophomore album from Fantastic Cat. Now that's what I call Fantastic Cat. Then at 36, the criminally overlooked Heartland rock album, Brian K. and the Parkways, Killing the Bear. 35, a really great high-concept banger of a record from Iglooghost, Tidal Memory XO. 34, the much-needed protest album for 2024, that is Godspeed, You Black Emperor. No title, as of 13 February 2024, 28,340 dead. 33, it is the wonderful and ambitious new Brittany Howard record, What Now? 32, banger of a debut from The Dare, What's Wrong with New York? Then at 31, Meridian Brothers, one of the most fun and colorful Latin records of the year, Mi Latino America Sufre. And then rounding out the 30s, Cheekface with their best album to date, It's Sorted. 29, great and concise jazz rap project from Lupe Fiasco, Samurai. 28, one of the best metal records of the year, Knocked Loose with You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to. 27, Laura Marling keeps those beautiful jams going on Patterns and Repeat. And then rounding out the bottom half at 26, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, Wild God. Just a gorgeous and devastating release from one of the greats. Top half of the list, 25. It is the debut from Lip Critic, Hex Dealer, one of the best fusions of hardcore, dance music, and kind of experimental sampling that I've heard this year. Lip Critic really burst onto the scene with this album, and I'm very excited to hear whatever they do going forward. 24, it is Geordie Grebe, The New Sound. The Black Midi frontman came through with an amazing solo debut. Very lush, beautiful, emotional, wacky, and definitely one of the more creative rock records that the year has provided. 23, it is Chelsea Wolfe with She Reaches Out to She. She really just goes for it on this album. The fusions of sounds and genres on here are just really incredible. This album is dark and also just very powerful in spellbinding, and yeah, she really came through with such a strong release that just pretty much has me pulled in the whole time. 22, One Step Closer with All You Embrace, one of the best kind of catchy hardcore and pop punk records that I've heard this year. Killer production, songwriting, and performances. For anyone who is a big fan of this kind of music, I cannot recommend this album highly enough. Yeah, it rocks. Number 21, it is Joy Alodikun, Observations from a Crowded Room. She really capitalizes on the potential shown on her last record here with just passionate vocals and songwriting, a kind of cohesive project with the observation interludes that intertwine the whole thing. And yeah, it's just a very a powerful emotional release that I felt like a bit of a soothing balm in these dark times. Rounding out the 20s, it is Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia. Tyler is really tapping into himself in both some familiar and intriguingly new ways on this record, and yeah, the result is one of the better hip-hop albums of the year. Love the different vibes on here that are just done through really solid production, writing, features are really great too. Yeah, Tyler came out with yet another win with this one. 19, it is Jack White, going back to kind of his punk blues roots on No Name. And I would say he did that to amazing effect, as this record just has great riffs, killer drums, strong vocals, and songwriting. And yeah, it's just a really kick-ass rock record. Like, even as someone who does really like a lot of the weirder, more experimental projects he's been doing lately, to hear him kind of do more of what he's known for and kind of just sounds about as good as ever, and maybe even a little better doing it, that's definitely a feat. This record's awesome. 18, Dr. Dog. Dr. Dog. The Philly indie vets came through with such a strong release here, and maybe even one of their best albums to date, I would say. Vocal harmonies still sound as fantastic and gorgeous as ever. Songwriting is really charming and heartfelt. Melodies are definitely fantastic. And yeah, the band just sounds like really relaxed on here, and really great to see, given that like they haven't put out a record in so long, and their recent reemergence has been fascinating too. So there you go. Shout out to Dr. Dog. They're still the best Philly band. 17, MJ Lenderman's Manning Fireworks. This is really the indie singer-songwriter record that had everyone talking this year, and for good reason. MJ is really one of that genre's more singular lyricists. Like, these lyrics are very, like, kind of melancholy, but also very heartfelt. Instrumentally, this is definitely one of his more versatile and refined projects lately, and yeah, I just really like it, and I'm definitely interested to hear whatever amazing project he does in the future. Number 16, it is The Smile with what I think is their best album so far. Cutouts, this is obviously the second release that they had in 2024, and just a really great culmination of everything they've done so far. Some really cool new stuff on here. And yeah, no longer does the band sound like just clearly an extension of what Radiohead is known for. And if this is what Tom and Johnny want to focus on for the foreseeable future. I'm here for it because this record's great. 15, Jamie XX with In Waves. He is back after almost a decade with his sophomore record, and it absolutely bangs. Very well produced and very fun, has a great flow, and it's really great to hear Jamie sort of apply his signature sound palette to a record that has a little more of a drive and punch to it, and yeah, I had a great time with this album. 14, another indie singer-songwriter record that was definitely buzzworthy this year. That is Waxahachie with Tiger's Blood. Really one of Katie's best albums so far in terms of she really just goes for it vocally on here. Songwriting is beautifully poetic, kind of mellow. Alt country instrumentals are awesome, and yeah, it's just a really killer, amazing record from one of the most sort of proficient figures in indie music. 14, it is Vampire Weekend with, in my opinion, their true comeback album. Only God Was Above Us. The group just sounds like really refined and reinvigorated in such a great way on this album, and it may even be like their best album to date, which is really saying something because they are kind of well known for popularizing a certain kind of indie rock, and to hear them like later into their career make an album this fantastic is again really a feat. Number 12, it is the pop album that pretty much ruled the world in 2024. That is Charli XCX's Brat. This record, there's not much I could say about it that hasn't already been said. Great production, songwriting, and hooks. Definitely one of the better pop albums of the year, and one of Charli's best records too. And even if some of the memes and hype have kind of, grown a little bit stale, at least for me, after a while, at least this record still bangs and definitely is one of the best of the year. And at number 11, we have Lizzie No with Halvesies, really fantastic, emotional, and kind of genre-defying singer-songwriter record. Really love the flow. And the songwriting and singing is excellent. Production is great. I really like how this album, I genuinely have always been a big fan of it, but as the year went on and I kind of learned more about its nuances, yeah, it just had me more in awe the more time I spent with it. Now we're here, ladies and gentlemen, my top 10 albums of 2024. Number 10 is going to Soccer Mommy for the album Evergreen. I'm a little bit shocked this album made it so high on my list because I have historically been kind of on the fence about Soccer Mommy. I did like her last record though. That was good. This album though, I think she's really leveled up as a songwriter and a performer. Sonically, I think this is just some of the most gorgeous, ethereal, and intricate songs that she's come through with. Really like the flow, and yeah, it's definitely just one of the better dream pop albums I've heard in a while, too. So there you go. Big fat W from Soccer Mommy here. Number 9, it is Adeem the Artist with Anniversary. What can I say? Adeem really outdid themselves on this record, and I think they have always really had the scope and the ambition to make an album like this, and in 2024 they finally made it happen. Like, great love songs, great politically charged songs, great songs about Adeem's past and kind of where they're at now as well. And it's just one of the best modern country records of the year to kind of come out of the indie country field. And yeah, it's just definitely it's just probably a Deem's magnum opus too. But my favorite country album of the year is gotta be my number 8 pick, Zach Bryan, The Great American Bar Scene. Zach really came through with some of his best songs really on this album. Love the whole concept, and even with it being this many songs, it never feels like it drags on. It has a really great flow and it keeps my attention, mostly because of just the incredible songwriting and singing from Zach, along with the beautiful and lush sonics, and some really great features and collaborations. Like, who would have thought a collab with freaking John Mayer would be as touching and powerful as that was? And yeah, it's just an amazing LP, and really proof that Zach is very much deserving of all of his accolades because of the impressive talent that he really has. Number 7, it is The Last Dinner Party's debut, Prelude to Ecstasy. This record is just, in so many ways, wonderful, between the hooks, which are still like stuck in my head to this day, and just the really impeccable songwriting and a very gorgeous cinematic production. Yeah, it's just a really incredible theatrical and kind of semi-conceptual pop and rock record that just has a lot of great layers to it, and yeah, I really love it. Number 6, it is experimental rock vets Shushu coming through with a pretty shockingly strong release that is 13-inch Frank Beltram Italian stiletto with bison horn grips. It's just really awesome to see a band like Shushu, who's been around for a long time, continue to come through with exciting music this late into their career, and this album happens to be just one of their more rockin' records they've come out with recently. Fantastic instrumentals and sonics, definitely very raw and in your face, and super creative, obviously, and really touching on some very interesting stuff thematically. Yeah, Shushu came through with just such an immense record for it to be like so short, and yeah, I just really love it. Now we're in my top 5. Number 5 is going to an artist that I really think just deserves a lot more love, because I think she's just so talented and refreshing for the underground singer-songwriter circuit. That is Elisa Amador with Multitudes. Just a really wonderful record. Elisa's voice, obviously, is very much the cherry on top of this record. That does happen to have like some really great songwriting and solid production that is very kind of dreamy, and also has so much character to it, and love the kind of bilingual mix of songs on here too, with some being in English and others being in Spanish, and yeah, it's just a really gorgeous record that is proof of what great personality and charisma that Elisa really shows as a performer and songwriter, and yeah, stunning debut. But my favorite debut album of the year has got to be my number 4 pick, which is Echo Astral with Pink Balloons. Definitely one of the best kind of noise rock and underground punk records of the year. Very chaotic and punchy sonics, and just really strong, and again, very singular kind of lyrics and writing techniques on here. If there is a rock record this year that really has just so much to say, and so much, I think, very important things to say about kind of the current hellscape that we're living in right now, it would be this record, but it's also just a really fantastic album that just really is just visceral, call for action and just a better, safer world for everyone and trans liberation and it's just an amazing LP and that Echo Astral have pretty much hit it hard right out of the gate on album 1 and I'm very excited to hear album 2. Number 3, it is Mr. JPEG Mafia with I Lay Down My Life For You, which may very well be my favorite JPEG album, probably. It's definitely one of his most, I think, versatile records in terms of the first half kind of having more of the expected hard-hitting bangers, and then in the second half, he gets vulnerable on here in a way that he really hasn't before. Sure, he's definitely had some emotional, introspective tracks before, but never before has it really been kind of the big focus of a whole album, just a really great forward-thinking production choices per usual. Really great rapping and writing, a few really good features, a great tight flow. It's definitely one of the best kind of abstract hip-hop records I've heard this year. But my favorite hip-hop album of the year definitely won't surprise you. It's number 2, Kendrick Lamar, GNX. This record is just phenomenal. Banging production, really fantastic flows and rap performances from Kendrick. Writing is as sharp, witty, and just clear-eyed as ever. Features are really good. And it's definitely a kind of unique record in Kendrick's catalog in that it's definitely his shortest record so far. It's a nice, tight one, and also a record that doesn't really rely on a huge concept or being super heady and complex. Yes, there's some heady, complex things going on this record, but but this is definitely, without a doubt, the most streamlined and accessible record Kendrick has come through with, and it's also just, I think, easily one of his best, just in terms of the consistency, the scope of it, and it's just a really phenomenal rap record that is just further proof of Kendrick's kind of, legend status as an MC by now. But it's not quite my number 1 album of the year. Number 1 was pretty much here from the beginning, and it definitely didn't shock me at all that it pretty much remained this high as this year went on. Mannequin Pussy, I Got Heaven. First off, this record is definitely, hands down, the best Mannequin Pussy record in terms of songwriting, production, performances, emotions, flow, sequencing, and just general scope of it all. It's just a really brilliant and impeccable rock record. The music definitely is really something. But another reason why this is my number 1 album of the year is because, like many people, I've just been through a lot in 2024. I will not get too deep into it, but the lows were pretty low for me this year, even though the highs obviously were pretty high as well. Not just in terms of things going on personally in my life, but also just kind of the world around me. This year has definitely been a kind of dark one for sure. And with that, it was just very much in need of a record and plenty other music too that just kind of soundtracked that and was just kind of that much needed hit of catharsis and also just kind of like hope for a better future that we kind of all deserve. And I think Mannequin Pussy very much just hit the nail on the head hard with this one. And it definitely is great to see kind of the rise of success that they've had in 2024 too. Like they were pretty much destined to make it to this point because they've always, I think, been such a phenomenal group. And they've hit the gold mine big time as of right now. And yeah, it's the best album of 2024 in my opinion. There you have it. Those are my top 50 albums of 2024. Hope you all enjoyed this video and got some good recommendations out of this too. Feel free to share with me some of your favorite albums of 2024 in the comments. This year, although it's definitely been a little crazy, it also just had a lot of fantastic music, and I'm looking forward to hearing whatever 2025 sends my way. This is Joshua Kirk, signing off.